TGIF, it's Friday, the 23rd of February, 2024. Your Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Hot Springs County Travel and Tourism in Thermopolis. You can always find yourself in hot water. Check them out at thermopolis.com. As we head to the weekend and beyond, we're going to call this the weather pendulum because there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Warm then cold, back and forth. We're going to get into a weather pattern, which is really, if you look at the calendar, we're headed to March. We're getting into what I call the really fun months, if you're a weather watcher, between March and through the next 4 months into early summer is when you can really have a lot of weather that can be quite exciting if you're a weather watcher, not so exciting if you don't like bad weather, because there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. And so the pendulum is going to really give you a good example of what's coming. Case in point, we got a quiet weekend coming. Temperatures will go back to being mild, but we're going to have wind. Unfortunately, especially in the wind-prone areas of the west, do expect the winds to be a bit of a nuisance and strong and gusty at times this weekend. We're still expecting this very strong cold front to come out of the Gulf of Alaska into Western Canada, the Pacific Northwest, then the Rockies and Northern Plains in that Monday, Tuesday time frame. Now, it's going to be a quick mover. We call it an open wave. It's going to come through, cause quite a bit of weather, but not linger. But it will bring an abrupt change, a swing in the pendulum, Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. With a lot colder air coming in. It won't stay, though. The cold air will be rather transient, but there's going to be snow, a big drop in temperature. There's going to be some really strong winds for you folks in southern Colorado and New Mexico, West Texas. There's going to be some high wind event coming to you early next week. Then a brief rebound in temperatures late next week, but after that, the pendulum swings again, and we'll show you that. Looking like spring here over the last few days across the region. Here's a shot out of Casper, a little shot of shower activity. Look at that rain and snow shaft, tiny little thing, but that's something you see in the spring and the summer when you start to see showers developing out on the plains with some of the clouds. And another shot out of Casper where it did really look more like spring clouds. If you look at that cloud, you'd say, oh, that's March or April, not February. But we still are going to find ourselves with plenty of winter to go. Winter is not going to go without a fight. Now, speaking of the instability, I wanted to just pull up this chart. For those of you that wonder where lightning strikes are, I recommend this website. A lot of times you have to pay for lightning activity. This is an amateur network of lightning sensors put up across the world. And this is a good resource if you want to take a look at maybe where a lightning strike may have occurred. But if you look, this is what happened as that Pacific wave came through. We had these clusters of thunderstorms that came through the west as that trough came on through. You can just see the path of the instability. And if you go in a little bit closer, a lot of you did experience some thunderstorm activity the last couple of days. Snowpack, though, has benefited from this, mainly across southern Wyoming. I wanted to show you that the upper North Platte now is at 97. Little Snake at 109. Lower Green, 109. The Wind River's at 100. We still have a ways to go, especially for this part of the region. This area is going to get some help. It's coming with that cold front Monday night and Tuesday. But really good to see the green shades showing up here in some of the key drainages of the upper North Platte and the Wind River. Green River, these areas right here, I think are going to likely go into green here over the next 7 to 10 days. As we head through today and the weekend, this low off the California coast is going to sit there, almost getting cut off, and eventually it will get cut off from the main flow eventually. So we're starting to see a strong west and northwest flow, but still a Pacific flow coming in today and through the weekend. So today, Sunday. So Sunday, we're still in a westerly flow. We're still going to be mild, but the strong gradient, the strong temperature gradient aloft will cause a strong jet stream wind. And when that goes perpendicular to the divide, you're going to get a lot of wind on the plains. But precipitation-wise, today through Sunday, we're going to see a little bit of moisture up here in the Pacific Northwest. That low stays off the coast of California. Quiet weekend of weather, but here's the wind. These are the wind gusts between today and Sunday. So it's going to be plenty windy across portions of Wyoming, portions of Montana, out on into the plains here. Some wind down here just as those strong jet stream winds go along and over the divide. But as we get into next week, this map we've been showing you over the last few days, this is an open wave, meaning it's not going to become a closed circulation, but rather a sharp drop in temperature as northwest territory air gets pushed in. This cold front is going to come in, reaching the northern areas Sunday night into Monday morning. Tuesday morning, overnight Monday into Tuesday morning is when a lot of Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Utah will feel the effects of this front, with Colorado and portions to the south and east of this front Tuesday afternoon into early Wednesday. So a steep drop in temperature will take place as cold air fills in behind it. Here's an animated graphic of showing you the temperature change. At the beginning of the graphic, you can see a lot of red, but then as you see the front come through, you can see the distinct boundary as it comes on by. But notice it does warm up rather quickly behind the front. So it's really a couple of days of it being a lot colder. Then temperatures rebound. That's why I showed you that pendulum. It's going to be back and forth, up and down with temperatures and conditions. Precipitation with this front looks like this. So it's going to, again, be another good producer of snow in the mountains, including the Bighorns, the northwest areas of Wyoming, the areas up here that really need help with the snowpack. It's coming. But you see the green is getting out on into the plains here. This isn't what I would call a huge snow dump, but it's going to be impactful, especially for travel. Travel late Monday through early Wednesday in this area right here is certainly going to be impacted by winter driving conditions. We also have a pretty hefty band of snow. It's going to develop across southern Canada as that front and trough moves on through. And this is what the snowfall looks like with that front. Basically, almost all of that precipitation you see here and here happens between Sunday night and Wednesday morning as that trough comes on by. Then looking beyond that. Okay, this is by next Sunday. So a week from this coming Sunday, we have this another system, part of this strong jet stream pattern across the North Pacific, comes crashing into California in the Pacific Northwest. And as we mentioned yesterday, if everything comes together, it may jump over the divide and become a more consolidated storm. However, we're not jumping on the bandwagon yet with this, not 100% sure. Just to tell you that, again, as we gave you some dates yesterday, between the 3rd and the 7th of March, around that time frame, we may have an impactful storm somewhere in the central and western United States, but too early to pinpoint it at the moment. And then we have another wave. This wave will come in behind it. So this is going to give us a lot of ups and downs in the coming weeks. Now, I wanted to talk about warm Februaries and what that means for March, or what it could mean. If you go back since 1980 and you pick the warmest Februaries since 1980, that would be 84, 91. You can see the years listed there. If you average all those warm Februaries together, it looks like this, which is really kind of what it looks like right now if you look at the temperature anomalies for February so far this month. Does a warm February mean a warm March, at least if you just historically look at what has happened since 1980? Well, the answer is no. Warm Februaries actually can lead to some colder Marches. So all those green areas mean below average temperatures in March. The yellow is slightly above. The white means near average. So you don't necessarily can make a connection that a warm February equals a warm March. And that's kind of what we're seeing, is this pattern here as we head to the new month. We'll see you next week. Have yourself a good weekend.